In the animal kingdom, being the biggest creature in the metaphorical pond often comes with its own unique advantages. While the natural world is brimming with an astonishing array of survival strategies, sometimes sheer size and dominance are the ultimate keys to thriving in the wild. From massive armadillos to fearsome ancient worms, here are 15 unusually large animals that truly exist. Number 15. Lurch, the watusi bull. Meet Lurch, perhaps the largest horned bull you'll ever lay your eyes on. You see, Lurch isn't just any kind of bull, he's an ankle watusi, one of the rarest and most incredible domesticated animals on the planet. Originally, they derived from Central Africa as a mix of the ankle group of Sunga cattle breeds and were incredibly popular domestic animals in the region. You see, way back in the early 20th century, some of these historical bulls were shipped to Germany as zoo specimens. Given they were so rare and popular, from there they then spread out to other European zoos. Eventually, that's also around the time they were imported to the United States, and in 1960, an entire herd was established in New York State that would later crossbreed with Canadian cattle. Now, despite being originally from Africa, it's thought that over 80% of the world's population of this cattle resides in the United States, and the most famous of them was this guy, Lurch, who was also the proud owner of the largest horns ever recorded. Back in 2003, in Gassville, Arkansas, the Guinness Book of World Records officially crowned him as their hornsporting champion, possessing the largest horns of any other cattle, and that incredible title hasn't been surpassed since. Sadly, although Lurch the ankle watusi died back in 2010, his legacy remains on the farm where he was revered, as his owners created a full-size taxidermy of Lurch after his death. That's one hell of an ornament. Number 14. Lion's mane jellyfish. While we've seen some pretty abnormal aquatic monsters from the deep, this next entry does things a little differently. The lion's mane jellyfish is the definition of nightmare fuel, and given the fact that it's also absolutely huge, you may think twice about the next time you decide to take a paddle on the shoreline. With tentacles that grow up to 120 feet in length, some recorded individual species actually rival the incredible size of the blue whale, the largest animal on the planet. Mainly found in the deep cold waters of the Antarctic and northern Pacific Ocean, the gigantic creature gets its name from the long, hair-like tentacles that hang from the underside of its bell-shaped body, reminiscent of a lion's mane. Incredibly, these gigantic tentacles are divided into 8 distinctive clusters of up to 150 tentacles each. These long, probing appendages are equipped with clusters of neurotoxic poison that stun their prey when they're caught up. However, there's no need to worry for us humans, as the lion's mane jellyfish mainly uses its powerful sting to catch small fish and tiny crustaceans that comprise its diet. Amazingly, this jellyfish also possesses bioluminescent abilities, making it pretty much a giant light show that floats through the oceans. Number 13. Huge python caught in forest fire. Speaking of gigantic monsters of myth and legend, few creatures have played such an integral role as that of the giant serpent monster snakes that slither throughout the undergrowth, tempting those that stray off the beaten path before swallowing them whole. Whether it's the titanoboa or the world serpent, snakes are the undeniable monsters of the jungle, and few of them can compare to the gigantic stature of these 30-foot pythons found in the dense bushland of Indonesia. However, the discovery of these humongous creatures was the result of a tragic event, after the dense jungles of Indonesia were ravaged by a series of destructive wildfires that all but destroyed the ecosystem and these serpent giants. Back in 2019, after the jungles of Indonesia were hit by a freak series of wildfires, locals discovered that a swath of gigantic pythons had been tragically burned to cinders after being caught in the wake of the inferno. At first, they were mistaken for anacondas, one of the largest snakes on the planet, but after verifying their species, it was revealed that they were actually pythons, some of the largest ever discovered. Although the result of a tragic event, it begs the question, are there even bigger pythons lurking somewhere in the jungle? Number 12. The giant shipworm. Alright, from one oceanic behemoth to one of the most astonishing aquatic discoveries of recent times. If you've ever heard of shipworms, strange and bizarre mollusk creatures that are usually known for eating wood, mainly found in the bottom of ships, dockyards, and submerged wood, you'll know that they're pretty weird anyway, as well as being a complete nuisance for the maritime industry. Although they're considered a plague by many, wood-eating shipworms have fascinated scientists because of their unique diet and ability to digest wood. However, this new discovery turned their wood-munching habit completely on its head. At the bottom of a riverbed in the Philippines, a team of scientists discovered a live specimen of the rare giant shipworm for the first time ever. The thing is, instead of eating wood, this thing appeared to feed on mud and rocks, and scientists aren't exactly sure how they've existed for so long. Much like their wood-eating relatives, the giant shipworm has baffled scientists with their unique diet, and it's not yet exactly known how or why this unknown species extracts nutrients from its rocky diet. It's considered to be one of the most exciting prospects in bacterial science, as their stomach contents contain an entirely new type of bacteria. Time will tell what these astonishing creatures will reveal. Number 11. the thresher shark. And finally, what better way to end this list of abnormally large creatures than with one of the most heavy metal sharks on the planet? Meet the thresher shark, a species that prowls the ocean waves with its gigantic, weaponized tail, one of the only sharks that does so. You see, for most sharks, the front end is the dangerous part, but thresher sharks are the exception. They're deadly at both ends. Incredibly, the top halves of the thresher shark's scythe-like tail fins are so huge that they can often be as long as the rest of the shark combined, giving them the appearance of a terrifying, top-heavy sea dragon with a thrashing, razor-tipped tail. What's even more fascinating is how they use this tail as a hunting tool, whipping it with incredible speed to stun or kill schools of fish before circling back to feed. This unique hunting strategy has been observed in the wild, where thresher sharks can take down multiple prey in a single strike, making them one of the most efficient predators in the ocean. Their tails are so powerful that they can create shockwaves in the water, disorienting their prey and giving the shark a significant advantage. Despite their fearsome reputation, thresher sharks are surprisingly shy and elusive, often avoiding human interaction and preferring the open ocean. They are also known for their incredible leaping ability, sometimes breaching the surface in spectacular displays that leave onlookers in awe. Sadly, like many other shark species, thresher sharks are under threat from overfishing, as their fins are highly prized in the shark fin trade. Conservationists are working hard to protect these unique creatures, as their role in maintaining the balance of marine ecosystems is crucial. Often measuring in at over 20 feet in length, their tails can extend to over half of that, and with a 10-foot tail, they possess the largest rear weaponry of any shark on Earth. Incredibly, these amazing creatures can live up to 50 years in the wild, but despite the threshing tail that they take their name from, they've never actually been observed hunting another creature with their tail. So maybe it's just for show. Now it's time for today's topic. Fishermen from a coastal village near Puerto Lopez, Ecuador, were expecting a routine haul. What they pulled up instead left the entire dock in stunned silence. Suspended from a crane and weighing over 2,400 pounds, the massive creature resembled a manta ray, but something was off. It was larger than any recorded manta, measuring nearly 30 feet across, with unusual ridges along its dorsal side and an oddly muscular body. Marine biologists from the University of Guayaquil were immediately called to examine the specimen. What they discovered raised more questions than answers. Unlike typical manta rays, this one had thick cartilage plating along its back and what appeared to be atrophied secondary fins near its ventral region, traits never observed before in this species. Locals quickly dubbed it El Diablo del Mar, the devil of the sea. Some believe it's a mutant caused by deep-sea mining activity off the coast, while others suspect it emerged from one of the unexplored ocean trenches nearby. Despite the curiosity, officials have ordered the carcass to be transferred for DNA testing. Until then, whispers continue to spread along the coastline with old fishermen warning, if there's one like this, there are more down there. Number 10. Giant Oceanic Manta Ray. Alright, first up, what better way to begin than with a gigantic mythical monster of the ocean? While many of the giant creatures on this list are revered by ancient societies and civilizations across the planet, few of them compare to the astonishing stature of the giant oceanic manta ray. From the tip of each wing, the giant oceanic manta measures in at an astonishing 22 feet in length, with the body of the ray growing to a size of up to 15 feet. These rays are filter feeders, gracefully swimming through the ocean with their mouths wide open to consume plankton and small fish, often traveling great distances to find food-rich waters. Despite their size, they are incredibly agile, performing barrel rolls and flips as they feed, a behavior that has fascinated divers and marine biologists alike. Their intelligence is another remarkable trait, as studies have shown that manta rays are capable of recognizing themselves in mirrors, a rare ability shared by only a few species on Earth. They are also known to form social bonds, often gathering in groups at cleaning stations where smaller fish remove parasites from their skin. These gatherings are not only vital for their health, but also provide a rare opportunity for researchers to study their behavior up close. Unfortunately, their slow reproductive rate, with females giving birth to only one pup every 2 to 3 years, makes them particularly vulnerable to population decline. The giant oceanic manta is a circumglobal species that's found in the deepest depths of the ocean, believed to live for at least 50 years. Look at this thing. Does that ever make sense? The giant oceanic manta is one of the most awe-inspiring aquatic creatures on Earth, like a silent gliding giant exploring every inch of the oceans. However, tragically, these mystical creatures are also frequently hunted, as they are believed to offer healing properties in Chinese traditional medicine. Global conservation efforts have intensified in recent years in an effort to protect these silent gliding giants. The largest ever caught occurred back in 2015, when a fisherman from northern Peru unintentionally caught a behemoth manta that weighed a staggering 2,000 pounds. Sadly, these incredible creatures are often caught or tangled in fishing nets, and without further intervention, they may disappear forever. Number 9. The great hornbill. As the only bird featured on this list, the great hornbill is truly one of a kind. With a long, curved bill that it draws its name from and a bright upturned groove known as a casque on its head, the great hornbill is arguably one of the most interesting feathered creatures on the planet. To support their heavy bills, great hornbills have developed incredibly strong muscles as well as fused vertebrae in their necks, a unique feature among birds and the only known occurrence of its kind in the natural world. Their striking appearance is matched by their fascinating behavior, particularly during the breeding season. Male hornbills are known for their elaborate courtship rituals, which include offering fruit to their potential mates and performing acrobatic flights to impress them. Once paired, the female seals herself inside a tree cavity using mud, droppings, and fruit pulp, leaving only a small slit through which the male feeds her and their chicks. This unusual nesting behavior is thought to protect the eggs and chicks from predators, but it also requires an extraordinary level of cooperation and dedication from the male. Great hornbills are also known for their loud, echoing calls, which can be heard from miles away, and are often described as a deep, resonant koke-koke-koke. These calls play a crucial role in communication, helping hornbills maintain contact in the dense forests they inhabit. Unfortunately, their large size and striking features have made them a target for hunters, and habitat loss has further threatened their populations. Often measuring in at over 4 feet in length and weighing up to 10 pounds, the great hornbill is so large that it's often considered a near-mythical creature by indigenous people. The Dayak tribe of Borneo considers the great hornbill emblematic of the spirit of their god, and having one fly over your household is considered a sign of incredible fortune. Number 8. Shamron, the house python. Alright, while our previous entry was pretty heartbreaking, let's turn our attention toward a happier kind of python tale. While snakes aren't exactly considered the best of pets, this next gigantic specimen turned out to be a tiny toddler's best friend. Meet Shamron, which means progress in Cambodian, an absolutely huge Burmese python that found itself in the unlikeliest of friendships with a small toddler. Way back in the year 2000, a family from the Kampong Cham province of Cambodia noticed that a tiny snake had slithered into their baby son's crib and was sleeping under his pillow. At first, the family was understandably alarmed, but they soon realized that the snake showed no signs of aggression and seemed oddly protective of the child. As the years went by, Shamron became a local legend, with villagers often visiting the family to witness the unusual bond between the boy and the snake. The python would often wrap itself gently around the boy, almost as if it were cradling him, and the two were frequently seen playing together in the yard. Shamron even seemed to have a calming effect on the child, who would often fall asleep nestled against the snake's massive coils. The family believed that Shamron brought good luck and prosperity to their household, treating the snake as a sacred guardian. However, as you'd imagine, Burmese pythons get pretty darn huge, and growing to full adult size, Shamron would eat over 5 whole chickens per week. However, the fairy tale story came to an abrupt ending after Shamron eventually bit her small friend while under stress. The huge Burmese python was retrieved by the authorities and sent to a zoo. Ah yeah, it's a python, guys, what did you expect? Number 7. Giant armadillo. Armadillos are pretty cute, right? Well, you probably didn't expect these Pokemon-esque creatures to make their way onto a list of abnormally large animals, but amazingly, this next entry is one of the biggest armored mammals on the planet. You see, all armadillos have a distinctive and incredibly tough carapace made from impenetrable bony plates, and given the fact that the vast majority of the species is pretty darn tiny, their amazing defensive capabilities have proven invaluable in the long-term survival of the animal kingdom. However, there is one gigantic black sheep of the family. Out of all 20 armadillo species, the giant armadillo takes the cake when it comes to combining impenetrable defense with gigantic bodies, virtually becoming the armored mecha android of the animal world. Unlike their smaller relatives, giant armadillos boast massive claws that can grow up to 8 inches long, which they use to tear into termite mounds with ease, earning them the nickname Earth Excavators. These claws are so powerful that they can even dig through compacted soil and tree roots, making them one of nature's most efficient diggers. Interestingly, their burrows are often used by other animals, such as snakes, lizards, and small mammals, creating a mini ecosystem within their underground homes. Despite their tough exterior, giant armadillos are surprisingly gentle and shy, avoiding confrontation whenever possible. They are also solitary creatures, rarely interacting with others of their kind except during mating season. Sadly, their elusive nature and shrinking habitats have made them difficult to study, and they are now considered a vulnerable species due to deforestation and hunting. Conservationists are working hard to protect these fascinating creatures, as their role in maintaining healthy ecosystems is more important than many realize. Incredibly, these creatures can grow to a length of over 4 feet, almost 4 times the size of their regular counterparts. Native to South America, giant armadillos are found primarily in the savanna and forest thickets of Venezuela, Paraguay, and northern Argentina. However, giant armadillos are generally nocturnal creatures, making vast burrows during the day where they seek shelter before emerging during the cover of darkness to forage for food. These curious creatures feed mostly on termites, ants, worms, and spiders, so there's no need to worry. They won't be clawing for a carnivorous diet anytime soon. Despite their huge size and defensive capabilities, the giant armadillo is an incredibly skittish and elusive species. When threatened, they'll dive back into their burrow and roll up into a ball, albeit a pretty gigantic ball. Number 6. The blue whale. Sure, you were probably waiting for this next entry because, of course, as the definitive gigantic creature of the ocean, this list certainly wouldn't be complete without featuring the largest creature to have ever existed. Seriously, nothing has ever come close to taking this guy from the top spot. The truth is, the blue whale is astonishing by sheer size alone. Measuring in at an average of around 98 feet in length, an adult blue whale can reach a body mass of over 300,000 pounds. To fuel their massive bodies, blue whales consume up to 4 tons of krill every single day during feeding season, filtering these tiny creatures through their baleen plates in a mesmerizing display of efficiency. Despite their enormous size, blue whales are surprisingly graceful swimmers, capable of reaching speeds of up to 30 miles per hour when they need to escape danger or migrate. Their hauntingly beautiful songs, which can travel thousands of miles underwater, are not only a form of communication but also a mystery to scientists, as their full purpose is still not completely understood. Blue whale calves are equally impressive, being born at around 23 feet long and weighing nearly 3 tons, making them the largest babies in the animal kingdom. These calves can gain up to 200 pounds a day during their first year, fueled by their mother's nutrient-rich milk. Sadly, despite their size and majesty, blue whales were nearly hunted to extinction during the 20th century, with their populations only now beginning to recover thanks to international conservation efforts. Their presence in the ocean is a reminder of the incredible biodiversity of our planet and the importance of protecting these gentle giants. Their tongues alone can weigh as much as a fully grown elephant, and the gigantic heart of the blue whale can grow as large as a Volkswagen Beetle. Just to put into perspective how mind-boggling the sheer size of a blue whale actually is, think of it this way. Their blood vessels are wide enough for a human being to freely swim through them. So yeah, if you're unfortunate enough to risk being swallowed whole by a blue whale, you better hope that you're strong enough to swim through. Number 5. Giant Pacific octopus. Unleash the Kraken. Okay, maybe not quite the Kraken, but despite the fact that this next astonishing creature can contort itself into all different kinds of shapes and sizes, the sheer size of the giant Pacific octopus earns itself a place on this list. As its name may suggest, the giant Pacific octopus is considered to be the largest octopus species in the world. Native to the northern Pacific Ocean, including the western coast of the United States, Alaska, and Japan, these amazing creatures can often measure up to 30 feet in length, with the largest individual ever observed weighing an incredible 600 pounds. Their incredible intelligence is another feature that sets them apart, as they are known to solve puzzles, open jars, and even recognize individual humans. In captivity, some have been observed escaping their tanks and sneaking into neighboring enclosures to steal food, only to return to their own tanks as if nothing happened. Their ability to camouflage is equally remarkable, as they can change the color and texture of their skin in an instant to blend seamlessly with their surroundings. This skill not only helps them evade predators but also makes them expert hunters, ambushing prey like crabs and fish with lightning-fast precision. Despite their size, they are surprisingly graceful swimmers, using their siphons to jet through the water with ease. However, their massive size and intelligence make them a target for both natural predators, like sharks and orcas, and human threats, such as overfishing and habitat destruction. The thing is, as is the case with many tentacled species that lurk in the oceans, we're not entirely sure if there are larger giant Pacific octopuses to be found deeper in the murky blue, perhaps even twice the size of the largest verified specimen. Yikes! Number 4. Ludo, the world's biggest cat. When you think of abnormally large animals, your first thought probably wouldn't be a domesticated house cat, but that's before you've met Ludo, a feline so large that he could probably pass for a dog. While house cats aren't exactly known for their ability to grow to incredible sizes, it seems that bigger is definitely better when it comes to the life and style of Ludo. As a breed of Maine Coon cat, Ludo is officially the longest and largest domestic cat according to the Guinness Book of World Records, making him the biggest house cat in the world. His owners, who live in the United Kingdom, often joke that Ludo doesn't just live in their home, he practically owns it, with his massive size making him a commanding presence in every room. Despite his intimidating stature, Ludo is known for his gentle and affectionate personality, often curling up on his owner's laps, though his size means he usually spills over onto the couch. His diet is another fascinating aspect of his life. Ludo consumes nearly double the amount of food of an average cat, requiring a carefully balanced diet to maintain his health. Grooming Ludo is no small task either, as his thick, luxurious fur demands regular brushing to prevent matting, a process that can take hours. Visitors to the house are often stunned by his sheer size, with many mistaking him for a wild animal or exotic breed at first glance. Ludo's fame has even earned him a dedicated social media following, where fans from around the world marvel at his photos and videos. Weighing 37 pounds and measuring over 4 feet in length, Ludo has often been compared to a lion cub rather than a regular house cat, and we can see exactly why. Number 3. The Titan beetle. This is a massive winged insect pales in comparison to the Titan beetle of South America, perhaps the largest insect ever discovered. Found most commonly in the Amazon rainforest, the largest reliably recorded specimen measured in at an astonishing 7 inches in length. Incredibly, despite its observations in the wild, the larvae of the species have never actually been discovered, and it's unclear how this gigantic insect reproduces in the wild. Some researchers speculate that the larvae may burrow deep into decaying wood, hidden from human eyes, while others believe they might inhabit underground chambers, feeding on roots or fungi. The mystery surrounding their life cycle has only added to the allure of this colossal insect, sparking debates among entomologists and adventurers alike. The Titan beetle's nocturnal habits make it even more elusive, as it emerges only under the cover of darkness, its massive wings creating a low, ominous hum as it flies. Locals in the Amazon often tell stories of these beetles crashing into lanterns or campfires, their sheer size and weight startling even the most seasoned explorers. Some have even claimed that the beetle's presence is an omen, a harbinger of storms or other natural events, though such tales remain firmly in the realm of folklore. Despite its fearsome reputation, the Titan beetle is not an aggressive creature, and it typically uses its powerful mandibles only in self-defense. However, its intimidating appearance and the sound of its wings are often enough to send shivers down the spine of anyone who encounters it. The short, curved mandibles that it possesses on its front have been known to be powerful enough to snap pencils in half, and incredibly, there have even been reports of the Titan beetle's mandibles cutting and tearing into human flesh. The terrifying reputation and astonishing size of the Titan beetle have even been a draw for adventurous tourists, with Titan beetle tours recently becoming a thrill-seeking attraction. Forget bungee jumping, how about Titan beetle hunting? Number 2. Queen Alexandra's birdwing. As the largest butterfly in the world, Queen Alexandra's birdwing is truly a marvel to behold. However, just as it is beautiful, this incredible insect is one of the rarest species on the planet and can only be found in one location on Earth, a remote region just east of the Owen Stanley Mountains in northern Papua New Guinea. Its name, as you may imagine, was derived from Queen Alexandra of England, the wife of King Edward VII, who reigned across the United Kingdom until 1925. These butterflies are known for their striking coloration, with females displaying earthy brown tones with white and yellow markings, while males boast vibrant iridescent blue and green hues. Their life cycle is equally fascinating, as the caterpillars feed exclusively on the toxic leaves of the Aristolochia vine, which makes them unpalatable to predators. This dependency on a single plant species has made their survival even more precarious, as deforestation threatens their natural habitat. Despite their size and beauty, Queen Alexandra's birdwings are surprisingly elusive, often flying high in the forest canopy, making them difficult to spot. Their flight is described as slow and graceful, almost like a bird gliding through the air. Conservationists have worked tirelessly to protect their habitat, but illegal collection for private butterfly collections remains a significant threat. With the largest wingspan of any insect on the planet, adult females can reach up to 3.5 inches in the head and body, but it's the Queen Alexandra's incredible wings that give it the world-breaking title, measuring in at a staggering 10 inches from wingtip to wingtip. Tragically, this astonishing insect has been the target of poachers in recent decades, and it's now considered a highly protected species. Number 1. Giant golden-crowned flying fox. Considered to be the largest bat in the world, the giant golden-crowned flying fox is an incredibly rare species, famed for its amazingly large wingspan that they often use to wrap around their body like a cloak. Hey, if you've got it, flaunt it, right? When fully displayed, the wingspan of this flying fox can reach up to 5 feet in length, perhaps the largest wingspan of any bat-like creature on Earth. Famous for their long snouts and pointy ears, the giant golden-crowned flying fox is more reminiscent of a canine than their native bat species, even displaying golden-brown fur on their heads like that of a fox. Found primarily in the dense forests of the Philippines, these bats are frugivores, meaning they feed almost exclusively on fruit, particularly figs. Their diet plays a crucial role in the ecosystem, as they help disperse seeds across vast areas, ensuring the growth of new trees. Despite their massive size, they are surprisingly gentle creatures, often roosting in large colonies high up in the forest canopy. However, their large colonies make them vulnerable to habitat destruction and hunting, as they are often targeted for bushmeat and traditional medicine. conservationists have noted that their numbers are rapidly declining, making them a priority for protection efforts. Interestingly, these bats are known to travel up to 25 miles in a single night in search of food, showcasing their incredible endurance and navigational skills. Their nocturnal lifestyle and elusive nature have made them difficult to study, leaving many questions about their behavior and biology unanswered. Both mystical and mysterious, this rare and elusive creature has often eluded scientists, and recent efforts have been undertaken to learn more about this amazing animal. And there you have it, 15 abnormally large animals that actually exist. What did you guys think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for sticking around all the way until the end. You've been watching Thought Trail. See you next time.